welcome back to the final part of our download videos. So this video will be looking at the Sunday, the final day. So on the Sunday we got there about in the afternoon, about 2 o'clock ish. First band I went to see was Dogstar, which, if you know who they are, it's Keanu Reeves' band. So I went to see Dogstar, which is Keanu Reeves' band, but we got there and it was absolutely rammed, like ridiculous. So, like uncomfortably rammed. Everyone must have went there to see Keanu Reeves. So I watched a few songs and sort of just made my way through the crowd the other side. And the sounded decent enough. I probably didn't see enough of them to give like a really good breakdown on it, but they sounded alright. It was like fairly chilled out indie type music. Luna, please. Yeah, so Dogstar, though, like fairly chilled out indie style music, pretty good. From what I heard, only caught a couple of songs, as I say. Just it was that rammed. I just made it through the crowd and got the other side and watched a few songs on the way across. But sounded alright. Lots of people must have went there to catch Keanu Reeves, which is fair enough. But it was just too busy for me. Like you literally were like queuing behind people to move. There was people at every side here. I wasn't going to enjoy it when it's like that, so I thought I'd just head on the other side and see what was on over there. So when I got the other side, I just went to see one of the tents and had like a big telly outside. So I got some food and just watched a band called The Pretty Wild, and they were pretty decent as well. They were alright. Sort of like two female vocalists, so it was a little bit different, and then a band behind them, and they just had quite a different range of music, so that would be like pretty heavy. But I also had some like quieter melodic bits as well. Again, just because I made my way through from the other side, I'd only caught a few songs at the back end of the gig, but it sounded alright. It'd be someone I'll possibly go and see again or look into. They looked alright. So I went to the main stage and I watched a band called Bloodywood, and they were quite a mental band. Before we got to the festival, I'd seen people say that they were worth watching and they were a good live band. I give them a listen, and nothing really stood out for us, but I took it that sometimes you get some bands where you go and see them for the live show, and they were really good live. It was really enjoyable. It was a bit mad, a bit out there. Honestly, I don't really even know what type of music it was. It's like sort of metal infused with like the Bollywood sounds of, you know, different different instruments that, you know, they would use on like traditional Indian music, I guess. But they had other stuff. I think they've done a song with baby metal, so you had some form of like electro pop fused in there as well. There was all types of different stuff going on there, so it was pretty good to watch, and they were like really animated and having a good crack on with the crowd. Something completely different, which is always great at festivals. It was like early-ish for me, so one of the first band, well, it was the first band I sat and watched the full set off, so I just sat there and chilled out and watched it, and it was good crack. So fair play to them. They're a mad band, but mad bands are good. Then I went up the top tent and went to see the secret set, which I don't think was very secret. I think everyone knew who it was, but it was Skindred, and they were class. If you've seen Skindred before, you'll already know they've got a great reputation for being an awesome live band, and always putting on a good show. That's like pretty much across the board. So they've been about quite a few years. There was a massive crowd there. It was absolutely rammed. You had to sort of fight your way into the tent. It was like packed outside the tent. You could go about maybe even 20 deep outside the tent. It was that busy for it. So I got me way into the back of the tent, and just hung about there, and it was cool. Like I was probably there about 15 minutes early. And everyone was just singing along the Daft Pop songs and stuff and having a good time. It was a good crack. Like Neil Diamond, Natalie and Brudia and that, everyone was just having a good sing along, so that was good crack. And then they came on and tore the house down. It was awesome, really good gig. Skindred, just, you know, really good metal band. Got loads of like dancey music in there, bit punkish. Got an infusion of loads of different things, so well worth seeing. If you haven't seen them before, you'll be a fan of most genres, I think, and you'll enjoy Skindred. So yeah, that was a good secret set. They play there every year, I think, so it was not that unexpected, but it was still, really well received, and everyone had a good time. There was people dancing all over, singing along, doing mad stuff. Everyone was into it, so yeah, that was a really good gig.
It's the M4, the one, the only, lights out and away we go, it's Skindred!
and well, I went back over at the main stage, and the Pretty Reckless were on. They sort of clashed, so didn't catch their full set. A few songs of them as I was walking across, and maybe it's like one once I got back to the spot. But sounded really good. He's got a good voice. Again, right up for it, enjoying themselves. Crowd was up for it. It was a nice sunny day, so good time to be playing on the main stage. I didn't see enough to give a full breakdown once again. This Sunday one, I was bouncing all over the shop and just catching bits and bobs of different bands, so it's not probably going to be the best review for a lot of this. And there was a few clashes as well, unfortunately, as always is at festivals. But what I did see of them, they looked really good, and yeah, I'll definitely go and see them again as well. I wouldn't mind catching them for a full set. Dinosaur Pile-Up were next. They were one of the main bands I wanted to see. Been listening to them loads on the build-up. I've seen them before. It was nice to see them on here and like on a good, section of the bill, or fairly high up on one of the tents. So I was really looking forward to this gig, and it didn't disappoint. Really good live band, full of energy. The lead singers, can draw you in. He's good crack. He's one of them charismatic frontmen, and they've got loads of good songs. The crowd was right into it. Everyone was clapping along, swaying along, singing along to different parts. It was a really busy tent, and yeah, it was just a really good gig. So I really enjoyed that. I'll go and see Dinosaur Pile-Up anytime they play nearby. They're a class band. I really like them. So there you go. Top gig for them.
Lately I'm like, what the fuck? I think I'm on the edge. About to lose my head. I think I'm about to lose. Oh yeah, about to lose it. About to lose it. About to lose it. Yeah, I'm about to lose it. About to lose it. About to lose it. For all the times I tried, failed and let you down, I apologize. I ask all about the time when anyone be worse off if I were to die. That's okay. It's our time. No one can ever leave you. You're the way to go. Maybe I'm a real so bad. Yeah, I shot shit. Don't let me know shit. You matter. You tell that you don't get it. I want you to want me. I want you. I wish you could feel the way I do. Would you? 'Cause I care the truth. I'm good. Stupid, heavy metal, broken hearted, lose the plot. Summer tour with Cody. Still spinning around my head.
music makes me want to fight.
Next up was Tom Morello, and because of clashes I missed the beginning of that, so I missed a couple of songs at the beginning, but from there it was a class gig. Like, played a few of his own songs which I really like, and then he was just having a crack on with the crowd and playing loads of stuff from Rage and from Audioslave. So if you like them bands, you go to see Tom Morello to hopefully see some of that. You got loads, you kind of complain about that. He just played like an instrumental medley of loads of different Rage Against the Machine songs, and people just sang along or bopped along or what have you. Everyone was happy with that. He played Like a Stone by Audioslave, and that got, you know, people sang along with that. That had a big picture of Chris Cornell up, and that was cool. I think before I got there, they'd done an Aussie tribute as well, from what people were saying. So a few different tributes there, and that's always good to see. Done a John Lennon cover, Power to the People, that was cool. Everyone had a good sing along to that as well. I think the main thing that he done was cause a bit stir by having a "Fuck Tommy Robinson" slogan pasted at the back of his guitar. I heard some people behind us saying, I should leave politics out of this, and I just had a bit of a giggle at that. I was like, oh, it's Rage Against the Machine. Well, he's out of Rage Against the Machine. Their whole stick was politics. What you got to expect. So, yeah, going to a Tom Morello gig and not expecting it to be anything political in there, you're sort of setting yourself up for disappointment if you don't want any of that. I thought it was a class gig, really enjoyed it. I love a good sing-along with Rage and Audioslave. I love both those bands. So that was me sorted. Singing the John Lennon song as well, and that's me super happy. So, class. Then back to the tent again. I was bouncing all day. I was knackered by the end of the day, but made my way back so I catch Ash. Again, missed a couple of songs at the beginning, but caught most of the set, so that was happy days. I've seen Ash a few times before. Class band. I used to love them when I was younger, because they basically, by the time I was getting into music when I was like 14, 15-ish, they were just releasing, like, the Members have released the first album already and the second album was due out. So I got right into them, loved all the music. They played a hell of a set. Anytime I've seen them, they've always been spot on live. Even though they're older now, they've still got like the same energy of when they were younger. Play loads of really bouncy songs that you can have a good dance around to. Even if you don't know the songs, they're like bouncy enough you can enjoy them. And they're just good crack. And they've got some class songs. So yeah, I'll pop the, as always, if I can find it, I'll pop their set list up. But they played like Burn Baby Burn, Girl from Mars, a load of the hits. So it was a really good set. Always Asher class. So again, another top gig for that day. Having a really good time on this Sunday. So I also went to see Mastodon, proper heavy metal band, been going 20 odd years. They were quality, everything you'd expect from, you know, a band who's been about for that amount of time. That was a really good set, good music, all really good musicians. Crowd was into it, it was a good crowd, it was a cracking gig, so yeah, Mastodon was spot on.
You
Also caught a few songs of Bad Omens. They're quite one of the newer bands who is gravitating towards like headliner status. So been making waves for the last few years. So I caught a bit of them. They're like metalcore with electronica in it, and there's some other stuff there. Only caught a few songs. And the songs I caught were quite chill, to be fair. I was expecting them to be heavier, so but I didn't catch the full set, so I didn't say what it was all like, but pretty good from what I saw. And the band to look out for, they're probably going to be one of the headliners in the next 4 or 5 years. And bounced back for the next gig, which was Let Live, and I did give them a bit of a listen beforehand, and they sounded alright. But I watched them, and they were really good live. I just sat and watched them with some food, watching the big screen outside the tent. And they went down really well. You'd hear all the crowd in the tent, you'd see them coming in and out. Looked like a busy crowd. Watching them on the screen, they were getting right into it. By the end of it, the lead singer had, I don't know what he'd done. I think he either jumped in the crowd or he climbed on up something. And it was like literally, I'm sure it was like the last song anyway. They were pretty much done the set, and they like cut all the music off, and were like someone on a PA like saying, if you don't get back to the stage, the music doesn't go back on. And I was just thinking to myself, he doesn't give a shit, the set's already finished, man. So that went on for ages, and then I think they clicked on that they were done, and just like he must have come back to the stage, and that was the end of it. But bit of a weird one, saying, I mean, it's probably just because of health and safety and stuff, but there was quite a few instances over the weekend where they'd like stopped the band from playing, turned like the amps and stuff off so they couldn't play. And I was like, it's a music festival, people are diving all out and moshing and crowd surfing. It's always been done. But on the other hand, I guess, you know, if they've got orders where they've got to comply with health and safety, and they need to take it seriously for the license, they've got to do what they've got to do. So it's one of them, isn't it? But yeah, they were a pretty good band. I'll definitely look into them a bit more after watching that.
This one's going out to everybody in the place.
Then it was the main event time. Scooter, German rave dance band. Nah, it's not my main event. I remember them being quite big when I was a kid, and people used to like them then, but I've never really been into that type of scene. Not massive on dance music or rave or anything. I can guarantee some dance bands, and like if you're in a club or something, or back when I used to when I was younger, you know, you get into it in there. But I kind of sit in the house and listen to anything like that. It just doesn't work for us. If you can, fair enough. We've all got different tastes. But I was looking at it and I was like, there's no one really who I want to see at this point. So I might as well go and check them out and see what it was like. And to be fair to them, it was class. Like, massive crowd. Everyone was like proper bouncing all over. I know I've said it a few times for like a few different bands, but over the course of the weekend, probably like Scooter and Skindred, where people were proper bouncing all over for it and like proper giving it and really, really having a good time. They were just like all over it, blasting the music out, the MCs giving it everything. People were having a really good time. It was a cool booking. I mean, obviously they've been asking for it for ages, and the organisers listened and got booked. So fair play, give the people what they want, and that's what it's all about. So again, bit of a novelty act, but they can go down at a festival really well because you're there for days. You're watching upwards of like 30 plus bands sometimes, depending on how you do your festival. It's good to have a bit of variety and something completely, you know, outside the box. So I know it's like always been known as a metal festival or alternative rock at times. But yeah, you can bring all the stuff in if you get the balance right, and it can go down class, and that did. I didn't watch the full set. I watched about half an hour. Then I walked over to the other side of the festival. I thought my girlfriend and her crowd had went to see Do You Remember. They sent us a couple of videos of that, so I'll stick them on as well. And that looked like they had a really good time. So I went over where we're going to meet them. I got there a bit earlier. Like I think I overestimated how long it would take us to get there. So I had a bit what about, and I popped in a tent and I called Creeper, who I think they played like 4 sets. I wasn't aware of a couple of them. I was going to see them on a Friday, I think, but again it just clashed and I ended up missing them. So I caught a bit of them, like only a couple of songs, but like they looked really good as well, and like sort of gutted I did miss them. I should have just went over a bit earlier and caught their set as well. These things happen. They're only young'uns, so I'm sure I'll get plenty of times to catch them down the line. But they were like having a really good time. The crowd are really into them. A couple of songs I heard were like really good, like poppy rock, pop rock, punk. I need to listen to them more, really. But that's what it felt like when I was there for them few songs. They're all dressed up and got makeup and all that on, so they've got all the theatrics in it, and everyone's into that. And like, yeah, it's cool. It's good to see new bands coming through and like really building up fan bases and getting loads of sets playing at a festival, and people are going to see them like multiple times. And that's when you know they're doing well and building up. So it's good to see more newer bands rising into the highest spot. So yeah, another band to keep an eye out for.
Tell me with the heart that you can't see right. Oh shit, here we go again. Another night out here with all my friends. Oh shit, here we go again. Another night out here with all my friends. Just like before. Everything you say on there. Just one step closer to the edge, and I'm about to break. I need a little room to break. One step closer to the edge, and I'm about to break. Answers are so clear. Wish I could find a way to disappear. All these thoughts, they make no sense. I find blessing in your hands. Nothing seems to go away over and over again. Just like before. Stop, 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 stop.
And then finally, it was the main event for real this time, and that was Linkin Park. It was absolutely rammed. I don't think there was any other bands on when they played. So like everyone who was left there was going to see them, whether they liked them or not, or go back to the tent, I suppose. But obviously, the crowd that was there was going to be in them. So I think even if there was other bands on going up against them, it would probably been detrimental to them because most of the crowd was going to be there anyway. But it was absolutely rammed. Like when we were at the back, I was like right at the back for a bit of it while I was waiting for them to come on and just like having a drink and just waiting really to find out where I was meeting everyone. I had a sort of idea of the location. Then like we were right at the back and that's where I was meeting them. And because I didn't remember come out at the same time, and I think Creeper had finished not long before, and Scooter probably's come out roughly the same time as well. All them crowds were just like crossing over each other. So like I was probably like 100 meters away from all of them. And there was like, I just couldn't even get across. It was like too busy. There was just so many people there. So, anyhow, I did eventually. And Linkin Park, again, they're not really my cup of tea, but I was happy enough to go and see them and just check them out. Obviously, they're big enough where I knew a fair few of the songs, and they were out, you know, when I was like, again, late teenager, early 20s, so I knew quite a fair few of the songs anyway. And I had a nice little countdown, so it was built up really well, big light show, proper giving it the headline and stuff, and then came out and just started playing the songs. They played a big set list. I'll put it up in 2 parts because like I'll even minimizing it to a smaller font. It's like that big. There was like, they must have played 30 songs maybe. So it was a really big set. It was interesting because like I haven't really listened to them since they, got the new singer in. She's obviously a very good singer, but it was a bit weird because you're just used to, when Chester was in the band and what they sound like then. And I haven't really given that much of a listen since the new singer, so I'm really acclimatised to that, which is obviously talented and fits in with the band and people really like her, so fair enough. They've done something different, which is always good. Sometimes you get bands where, members leave or for whatever reason, in this case obviously tragically died, and then you're sort of trying to fill their boots. But sometimes I think if you do something different or go a different direction and just change it up, and you get a new lease of life on the music if you're going to keep going. So I think it worked out pretty well. Most people there seem to be really enjoying themselves and singing along, even with the new stuff that they've released, so that's gone down really popular as well. I'm not going to lie, I didn't do the full gig because I was absolutely shattered by this point. And as I say, I'm not a massive fan of them. I don't hate them or anything, but I wasn't that bothered. Happy enough to catch, the first half of it, and then get myself back to the tent. But the rest of them stayed out and had a really good time. They were all massive fans, like really big fans, so awesome for them. And it sounded like it went down really well with everybody else. People were saying, they really, really enjoyed them and it was their favourite gig of that weekend and things. So happy days, if everyone goes home happy, you've seen stuff that you liked and the bands that you've wanted to see have lived up to expectations. That's a great festival. So yeah, that was all you can ask for. And I think over the course of the weekend, I got to see a load of bands I really liked. I saw some bands that I didn't know and enjoyed as well, so I've got new bands to look at. And then those bands I've seen who I might not be massively into, but I still enjoyed as well. So probably saw like 30 odd bands. So it's a long week. Tired afterwards. I'm in my 40s now as well. I haven't got the stamina I used to have when I was younger and used to do all the festivals. But yeah, first time at Download as well, so yeah, a really good festival. Only thing really, that's sleeping under an airport's a bit of a knacker, but other than that, it's a good festival. You go there and have a great time. Might head there again next year. I'm going to wait and see if I can get Glastonbury tickets, and then I'll decide on what my festival plans are next year, but I would definitely go again. And yeah, it's a cool festival. It was really good to get that one ticked off my list.
what they told ya. Now they do what they told ya. Now they do what they told ya. Now they do what they told ya.